Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with another installment of Building the Team. So, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this previously, but the DC only game never ended up happening for varying life reasons. It may end up happening again, but in all honesty, we'll probably be making new teams for it. I did get to try out the Gotham City team, and anyway, so due to the fact that there's a large tournament coming up in a little more than a week, and some of my Clicks group is participating, we decided that this upcoming game would be practice for that. As I'm not going, I often just build 200-300 point modern teams and see how they basically let everyone see how they do against everyone. But so let's get started, shall we? We got ourselves an Avengers team, starting off with Sharon Carter. Sharon comes in at 35 points, has the Shield team ability as well as the Avengers, Shield, Politician, and Spy keywords. She also has two traits. First off is Espionage, granting her stealth as well as improved targeting, hindering terrain. Also of note, the new rules are now in effect, so hindering terrain does not hinder movement, only line of fire. Next up is Best Part of My Day. Leadership. If Sharon Carter is adjacent to a friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers, she and those characters increase the result of their D6 rolls for leadership by +1, if not already increased by a trait with this name. Okay, alright. Admittedly, no one on the team is named Captain America or Steve Rogers, so yeah. Next up, we are looking at her dial. We've got to click a sidestep on speed, that's it. A couple clicks of inertial deflection, followed by a click of defend on defense. On damage, we open up a special power. Stand by for updates. Perplex. When Sharon Carter uses it to target another friendly character with the shield keyword, that character can use Outwit until your next turn. Then at the very end, we have a click of support on damage, which works well with the 14 defense and defend. Next up, we've got Black Leopard. It's a it's Black Panther, just a slightly different outfit, making some slight changes for, I presume, diplomatic reasons. I would think. Anyway, Black Leopard comes in at 50 points. He has the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior keywords, as well as improvement with hindering terrain, but that doesn't matter anymore. We also have a trait to fight for equality in Rudyarda. The maximum attack, defense, and damage values of opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire are each equal to Black Leopard's printed value of that type. Okay. Looking at his dial, we got some charge, some flurry, and some stealth. On attack, we've got some blaze followed by precision strike. On defense, we've got combat reflexes followed by super senses, and on damage, we open up with reminders of how they view even a king. Leadership, Perplex. When Black Panther uses Perplex to target himself, modify the chosen value by +2. Instead, if an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire has a higher printed value for the chosen value that Black Leopard's printed value. Okay, alright. Yeah, it does have to be the printed value, so yeah. That then gives way to regular Perplex. Then looking at his dial, considering that trait, he's going to be knocking attack values down to 10 or 9, defenses down to 17 or 16. For the most part, damage to 3, but that's with a 300 point team, 3 damage is actually kind of normal, so yeah. Next up, we've got Iron Man. This is not an Iron Man we've ever used before, for reasons. Anyways, Iron Man here comes in at 65 points. He has the Avengers team ability as well as the Avengers, Shield, Stark Industries, Armor, and Scientist keywords. Looking at his dial, we got some sidestep followed by running shot, then back to sidestep. We got a couple clicks of telekinesis on attack. On defense, we have a special power called Adaptive Energy Shielding, which grants barrier, energy shield deflection, and toughness. And Then we get some mid to late dial invulnerability. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Range Combat Expert, followed by a couple clicks of Perplex. Main reason he's on the team is that telekinesis. To be completely honest. Next up, we've got Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Miles here has 65 points. He has the Spider-Man Ally and Ultimate Steam abilities. He also has improved movement, ignores elevated terrain, as well as the Avengers, Champions, Shield, Spider-Man Family, and Ultimate's keywords. His trait allows him to begin the game equipped with the Dimensional Travel Watch, but as there are no other Spider-Man Family figures on the team, we're not worried about that. Looking at his dial, on speed we open up with special power, a slightly different genetically engineered spider, which grants plasticity, sidestep, and stealth. With a late dial charge and back to the special power for his final click. On attack, we start with special power Shocking Web Blast, which grants precision strike. When he's given a move action, moves 5 squares or less. After resolutions, he can use Incapacitate as range at no cost, and may use it to target all opposing characters within range and line of fire. We then get a couple clicks of Super Strength, and then back to the special power. On defense, we open up with some Super Senses, which then gives way to Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up without Wit, have a mid-dial blank spot, and then Shape Change for the last couple clicks. And to be fair, he's largely on the team, though, for the Ultimate Steam ability. For Hawkeye. Yeah, I know. Miles and Hawkeye. When do we not use that lineup, right? Anyway, Hawkeye comes in at 75 points. He has the Team Player Wildcard ability as well as the Avengers, Shield, Thunderbolt, and Martial Artist keywords. He also has improved targeting, may make range attacks out of adjacency, including to target adjacent opposing characters. We have 2 traits, Assembled Avengers. Once per turn when Hawkeye hits after resolutions, you may roll a d6 on a 5 or a 6 if your force has 3 or more friendly characters with the Avengers keyword, remove an action token from Hawkeye, or give an action token to a hit target. If 6 or more, do both, which we've only got 5, so yeah. Can't do both, just the one. Next up is Not Tricks, Tactical, which grants Precision Strike. He can use Precision Strike and or Range Combat Expert, even while targeting more than one target. Okay, alright. Looking at his dial, we open up a special power on speed called Hawk Guy, which grants him running shot, sidestep, and stealth. Then we get some sidestep, then back to Hawk Guy. On attack, we open up with Incapacitate, which then gives way to Energy Explosion, and back to Incapacitate. On defense, we open up with Willpower, which then gives way to Inertial Deflection, and back to Willpower. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Leadership, and the rest is Range Combat Expert. Now, we're not quite done, as we're only at 290 points. We've still got one more thing to look at. The Power Gem. Yep. Plan is to put... That's why we need the Telekinesis. Slap the Power Gem on Hawkeye. Use Iron Man to telekinesis the Power Gem to Hawkeye, equip it on him. And then, yeah, get going on, hopefully get to do at least something with it. The Power Gem costs 10 points, modifies damage by +1 and grants Close and Range Combat Expert. When the character hits, if the attack roll is a 10 or higher after resolutions, you'll hit target 1 penetrating damage. Okay. Alright. Then we have ourselves an X-Men team. And it's all from House of X because, yeah. Anyways, kicking things off there, we've got Sage. Sage comes in at 40 points as the X-Men team ability, as well as the X-Force and X-Men keywords. We also have the trait, the Mutant CIA, which grants her stealth, as well as improved targeting and ignores hindering terrain. Looking at her dial, we got a full run of sidestep. We open up with a click of telekinesis on attack. On defense, we open up with willpower for a couple of clicks, which then gives way to super senses. Then on damage, we have a special power, team logistics and coordination, which grants leadership and outwit. Okay, all right. Next up, we've got Tempest. Tempest here comes in at 50 points, has the X-Men team ability, as well as the 5 and X-Men keywords. She also has improved targeting, may make range attacks out of adjacency, including target adjacent opposing characters. We get 2 traits. First off is the 5, Tempest. When a friendly character is chosen for the Krakoan Revival trait, opposing characters can't use probability control until the end of your next turn. We might actually be using that Krakoan revival trait. Just saying. Next up is Unstuck in Time, which grants probability control, but she may use it any number of times per turn, targeting a different character each time. When she uses it, except for the first time this turn, after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, deal her 1 unavoidable damage and remove her from the map. If you do, at the beginning of your next turn, an opponent chooses a character on the map. Place her adjacent to that character. Looking at her dial, we open up with some phasing, which then gives way to sidestep. On attack, we open with Incapacitate, followed by Pulse Wave. On defense, we've got a few clicks of inertial deflection. And then on damage, we have a few late dial clicks on Perplex. Okay, alright, not too shabby. Yeah. Next up, we've got the old knucklehead himself. The best of what he does, Wolverine. Wolverine here comes in at 60 points. He has the X-Men team ability, as well as the Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, Animal, and Assassin keywords. He also has the Mutant CIA trait, same as Sage. Looking at his dial, we open up with a couple clicks of special power Weapon X Reject on Speed, which grants Charge and Flurry. That then gives way to Charge, followed by Flurry. On defense, we open up with Precision Strike, followed by Blades Claw's Fangs. Or on attack, Precision Strike, followed by Blades Claw's Fangs. Defense, we open up with Combat Reflexes, which gives way to Super Senses. And finally, we have a click of Regeneration at the very end. Then on damage, we open up with a nice chunk of Exploit Weakness, which then gives way to Battle Fury. Now, one thing to keep in mind, now with the rules changes, Flurry and Exploit Weakness work together. So, that Flurry is penetrating. Next up, we've got Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler here comes in at 65 points. No, just 60, my bad. Just 60 points. So, he has the Excalibur, Quiet Council, X-Men, Martial Artist, Monsters, Pirate, and Spy keywords, as well as Passenger 1. He has the Krakoan Revival trait. However, to be perfectly honest, we're probably not going to be using it because the only two characters we'd really be using it for, one is the same point value, the other is a higher point value. So, yeah. Then, looking at his dial, we open up with a couple clicks of special speed power, getting the X-Men into position, which grants Phasing Teleport and Stealth. When Nightcrawler uses Phasing Teleport and carries a friendly character that shares a keyword, after resolutions, you may place him in the square he began movement from. So that's kind of neat. That thing gives way to a couple clicks of Hypersonic Speed, then back to the special power. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Blades Claw's Fangs, followed by a couple clicks of Precision Strike, and back to Blades. Defense, we open up the special power Saving Mutant Kind, one mutant at a time, which grants Super Senses. When a standard friendly character within 5 squares of the line of fire that shares a keyword is attacked, they can use Super Senses, but only if Nightcrawler has line of fire to the attacker. When they use it and succeed, after resolutions, place them adjacent to Nightcrawler. Okay. That thing gives way to a couple clicks in the middle of just regular Super Senses, and then back to the special power. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Shape Change, then a couple clicks of Probability Control, then back to Shape Change. Finally, we've got Gambit. Gambit here comes in at 80 points. He has the Excalibur, X-Men, Martial Arts, Mystical, and Spy keywords, as well as improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain, and the trait Excalibur, Mystical Protectors, which grants him the Mystic's team ability, but only triggers during range attacks. He's also protected from the Mystic's team ability. Looking at his dial, we open up with a couple of special speed power. I ain't sure why you need a Thief, granting him Running Shot and Stealth. That thing gives way to some regular Running Shot, and then a few clicks of Sidestep. On attack, we open up the special power, Oh, It Ain't Magic, which grants Energy Explosion, Precision Strike. As a free action, you may make an attack, but only to target a single non-standard character. That then gives way to regular Energy Explosion. On defense, we open up with some Super Senses, followed by Inertial Deflection. And then on damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Perplex, get a few clicks of Nothing in the middle, and back to Perplex at the end. Now there is also still one other thing we're including on this team as well. The Soul Gem. The Soul Gem comes in at 10 points. It grants a defense boost of +1. It also grants heal energy both close or range attacks. When this character hits on an attack roll of 10 or higher, they get to heal an additional click. And the idea is to put this on Wolverine. That way, it's going to be hard to kill. That way, it's going to be hard to really take him down unless you just want to really devote everything to taking him out all at once. But anyway, that's it for now. Later on this weekend, we'll be doing our Wonder Woman unboxing series, at least the first part of it. We'll go into why just the first part when we're actually doing the unboxing. Anyway, that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.